As I got on the elevator, the man getting off whispered something strange to me. "Don't get off until you hit the ninth floor. No exceptions." "But my interview is on 5, I replied. "I'll only say this only one more time. Don't get off until you hit ninth. No other floor is safe." It's crazy, but something about the way he said it penetrated my skull. He was serious. And he looked nervous, like he had to fight every instinct in his body to say that to me. The doors closed, while I thought to myself, who the f says anything like that? As I went to hit the button for the 5th floor, some anxiety came over me. I shook it off and pressed it. The guy was probably just off his rockers. The elevator went up. I scanned my surroundings, a TV bolted to the top corner of the elevator, playing the Weather Channel, a mirror for the back wall of the elevator, and some cozy lounge-style music playing. Pretty standard stuff. Now arriving at the 5th floor. Weird, not sure if I'd ever been in an elevator that announced each floor it was arriving at. I was sure that if I worked in this building, this would get pretty old quickly. The doors opened on 5. In front of me was a reception area with a woman seated at the front desk. She stood up from her seat. "Mr. Davis, you're early." The gentleman's warning from earlier played in my head. "We'll be ready for your interview in a few moments. In the meantime, please feel free to take a seat." Thank you," I responded. "If I'm, early, maybe I can come back in a few minutes?" "Nonsense. We'll see if we can speed things up. He's been very excited to meet you." The elevator doors started closing. I held them open. I wasn't sure what to do here, but everything seemed fine enough. Granted, the receptionist did seem a bit eager, but beyond that. From my vantage point, I scanned the office space behind the front desk area. All looked normal, cubicles, folks clicking away at their computer, a kitchen area. Pretty unremarkable. That is, except for the portrait off at the far end of the office floor. It was very large. I couldn't tell what the picture was of, but I did see a group of employees staring at it. Almost admiring it. "Your wife's name is Meredith, right?" I froze as the receptionist's question shot a dart right through me. I didn't remember the job application form ever asking for my wife's name. "You two are thinking of having children, right? If it's a boy, you want to name him Sam?" "What the?" Forget that she was right on the money. This was something I'd never spoken about before to anyone, including my wife. Before I could answer, the office workers surrounding the large portrait started singing the happy birthday song loudly, in complete and perfect unison. Someone brought out a birthday cake and presented it to the portrait. A portrait that, after a bit of squinting, I realized was a very large version of my high school yearbook photo. I backed into the elevator and pressed the closed door button. I panicked as it took its sweet time to register. Press. 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 Come the F*** on. After what felt like an eternity, the doors started closing. As they closed, I heard the receptionist. "I'm so curious to know what your insides taste like, Michael." Fuck me. Ninth floor. I needed to go to the 9th floor. I found the 9th floor button and pressed it. It felt like it didn't register my push, so I pressed the button again. And again. Come on, come on, come on, 9th floor. I tried again and again, but nothing was happening. Fuck it. I'll go back to the ground floor, I thought to myself. Back to the start. As I went to press the G button, I realized it was missing. Just that one singular button is gone. I was getting claustrophobic. I took deep breaths to prevent myself from having a full-blown episode. The elevator started moving up again. A panel above the elevator doors lit up with the following number, 11. Someone was calling the elevator? I started talking to myself to self-soothe. It's okay, someone will call the 9th floor soon. That's where I'll get off. As the elevator approached its new destination, I noticed that the background lounge music in the elevator had changed. It was now an instrumental arrangement of Happy Birthday. Not sure why this thing thought it was my birthday. I glanced at the weather report on the TV. At least it was going to be sunny all week. Silver linings. Now arriving at the 11th floor. Ding. The doors opened. I hung around the inside corner of the elevator beside the buttons. No need to have another nightmarish experience, right? An old woman stepped onto the elevator. Great, I'm sure this will be easy to explain to her. She smiled at me, as the doors closed. With a lump in my throat, I asked, "What floor?" "Ground floor, please." I'm sorry ma'am, but that button is missing. Maybe we could wait until someone calls us to the 9th floor?" "9th? No, I think I'll just go to the 2nd floor instead, then." She went to press the button. "Ma'am, I don't think it'd be safe to. I have plenty of friends on the 2nd floor. It'll be okay." And she pressed it. I didn't feel comfortable cornering an elderly stranger in a seemingly haunted elevator. But I tried again to convince her. I know this sounds weird, but I have it under good authority that the 2nd floor probably isn't safe. I'd strongly recommend not getting off until we reach 9. She smiled. "Dear, it'll be all right. You know, I like to take all opportunities that are given to me. It's a shame that you turned your opportunity down. I know the folks on 5 are very disappointed." I backed up into the corner of the elevator. I saw the reflection of the old lady in the elevator's back mirror. She looked ghastly. Otherworldly. Now arriving at the 2nd floor. The doors opened. She smiled at me again, and then exited. I poked my head around the corner to look at the 2nd floor. It was damp. It looked old. More like a cave than an office. I heard a low rumble. A man dressed in a fancy suit approached the elevator doors and held them open before they could close. "You getting off here too, champ? I heard that 5 wanted you. I think we can give you a better offer." "I'm good." "You sure, bud? The salary is $800,000 every hour." "I'm good." "I'm kidding, bud. The salary is we remove your eyes so you don't have to see him." The floor went pitch black. The low rumble got much louder and started reverberating in my ears. Suddenly, the businessman grabbed me by the collar and tried to pull me out of the elevator. I clung onto the ends of it. I started kicking and headbutting him. I was able to make him let go of me momentarily, as I desperately pressed on the closed doors button. Miraculously, the elevator responded much quicker this time and they closed immediately. I tried the 9th floor button again. Didn't work. I pressed 8 instead. Anything to get away from this hellhole of a floor. I heard a loud banging on the door as the elevator started taking off. Like an aggressive knock. As I saw the floor numbers rising 3, 4, 5. The banging continued. Just as loud. What the fuck? 6th floor. 7th floor. The banging on the door didn't subside. Now arriving at the 8th floor, I pressed the button for the 23rd floor. Just as we arrived on 8, I mashed the close doors button just as the elevator doors were about to open. The banging continued as the elevator doors started denting. The elevator continued going up. 9, 10, 11. The banging softened. 14, 15, and softened. 19, 20, 21, and disappeared. Now arriving at the 23rd floor. It was gone. Thank God. I exhaled. It felt like I'd narrowly avoided disaster. The doors opened. I scanned the new floor, and I realized I was back on the ground floor. That's what it looked like, anyways. Did I escape? Was I finally free? A man stood not too far from the door. He looked familiar, but I couldn't exactly place him. Hey man, he spoke. Was this the guy who got off the elevator just as I got on? Hey, it's over man. You got out, he told me. I felt a wave of relief wash over me. But I had to fight it. But you said the 9th floor was the only safe one, right? That was a trick. You followed your gut and you were right. 23rd floor. The real safe floor. You can step out now, man. I didn't leave. There's someone here who really wants to see you. I couldn't move, he wants to give you a job. He thinks you're gonna be great. Why the F couldn't I move? He's in the other room. I'm gonna fetch him, okay? All you have to do is look at him. It'll feel a bit weird at first, but then it'll all be okay. It's a permanent position. Great benefits. It is fully on site, but no better birthday present than a new job, right? I lowered my gaze to the floor. I forced myself to mutter the following words: it's not my birthday.